Yes, time for questions. See, I'm going to. Would you mind stop sharing the screen, or we can see you in full view, and
Yes.
that makes it
Was
a little
about to do so. Yes.
easier. Let's
Okay.
see. Mrs. Balu, did you want to jump in and ask the questions?
You can go ahead and then I can ask. Yeah.
Okay, Sita would like to know what is the ideal temperature for storing chocolate over a long time?
Well, ideal temperatures are between 15 and 18 degrees C. Of course, in many countries, it is not really feasible to do so. If the maximum temperature is 20, that's still acceptable. But we have seen in shelf life testing, for instance, that if chocolate products are stored at 20 degrees C versus 23 degrees C, for instance, this is only a difference of 3 degrees C, but it has a huge impact on the shelf life of your products. We even see that on average, the shelf life is reduced with a factor 2. When you store the products at 23 versus 20 degrees C. So yeah, too low temperatures are not okay either because of the risk of sugar bloom formation and so on. So optimal temperatures vary between 15 and 18. I would say maximum 20 if that is possible. And if not, everything that is as low as possible, I mean, on the higher side of that range, is good. Yeah.
The question is the ganache. That it alters the water is distributed in the product. So, what's the preferred tool for combining cream with cocoa?
The preferred tool, you mean technology to make it? Yeah. There are,
because in the ganache, like if there's water is distributed in the product, you showed the slide. So they want to know what is the preferred tool for combining cream with cacao and other ingredients.
Well, I showed in one of the slides that if you can work with a more professional mixer, like a Stefan mixer, that's one example. I don't want to promote that particular mixer, but if you can work with something like that, you have a better distribution of your oil droplets. You have usually better structures also of your ganache. But of course, not everybody has the means to purchase such type of equipment. I know that many people make a ganache by hand, so they just use this. I don't know the name in English, but so it's often handmade, and that can work as well. But I can imagine if you have like a simple a kitchen mixer, something that you can have in your kitchen, that where you can increase the speeds, it might already have a positive impact. But even if that is not a solution to you, if you do not have such equipment available, you can also make it by hand. But okay, it will result in a less stable product.
Somebody's asking, what's the best temperature to keep the enrobed chocolates for crystallization process after it comes out from the belt?
What is the best temperature in general when you want to crystallize chocolate products or cool chocolate products? It's best to apply a gentle cooling. So no cooling at fridge temperatures. Usually we recommend temperatures between 10 and 15 degrees C. Yeah. So it's more gentle cooling, because if you cool at too low temperatures, you might create unstable fat crystals again in your chocolates. Yes. So then you don't only have the beta 5 form, but you have also unstable crystals. They are unstable, they will recrystallize, they will result in faster fat bloom formation. So overall, between 10 and 15 degrees C is acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody from India, they're saying, like where the humidity is very high, and then the temperature is also high, 25 to 26 degrees Celsius.
Yes.
So that's too hot in the summer. So how do they work in such conditions? If we are like a refrigeration, is also a challenge.
Yes, absolutely. Packaging is very crucial. if they can work with packaging material that does not allow that is not permeable to water, that can already be very helpful to avoid sugar bloom. The temperature is also very challenging, so if the products can be stored in a colder environment, in an air-conditioned environment, it's always helpful. But it is absolutely a challenge. That is completely true. And some companies simply don't sell or don't produce in the summer months because they only have problems with that. But it is very challenging. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's asking, like, they usually do ganache by combining chocolate to cream.
Yes.
So, but the shelf life is only 15 days. Is it true?
Yes, it is true. Also in Belgium, like all those hundreds of chocolatiers that make fresh pralines, very often with ganache fillings. These fillings have a very limited shelf life of 2 to 3 weeks. That is absolutely true. So it can already help to use some glycerol or sorbitol to reduce the water activity of your filling. That will have a positive impact on the shelf life. But depending on the shelf life that you're targeting, you might apply some more severe changes. Or I would say the glycerol and sorbitol, or one of these, is already has a positive impact. So I would recommend to start with that. Yeah, it also it changes your water activity, but it still has a positive impact on your texture. Yeah.
And the one question is, like, how do they make adding alcohol flavor without adding the alcohol itself? Like, like they just want the flavor only, not the liquor inside.
We have some experience with that too, because one of the co-shareholders of our company, he has his own company where he makes alcoholic liquors. So it's a distillery, a small scale distillery that he has, and he even sells his liquors in star-based restaurants in Belgium. So it's really he has very high quality liquors. And we developed a collection of pralines where the filling centers also contain these alcohols, and the purpose there was to do not have very strong alcoholic taste, but to have especially the flavor of the liquor, and we managed to do so. But then you have to use lower percentages of alcohol. I can also say in water-continuous fillings, sometimes or very often, chocolatiers are using a little bit of alcohol, pure alcohol, or not 100% pure, of course, but they often use a few percentages of alcohol to improve the shelf life of their ganaches, for instance. So then you have alcohol, which has a positive impact on the shelf life, but you don't really taste the alcohol. So it's a matter of trying different ratios, alcohol versus the rest of your filling, tastes, and see what is acceptable to you, how you can boost the flavor without having this typical alcohol flavor inside.
Yeah, I think most of the questions are about the temperature. You already answered it. I think anybody else has a question? Okay, if you have just 1 minute, somebody wanted to share some crystal picture.
Yes,
so
that would be nice.
I can ask her to share it for a second.
Yes.
Let me see. It was Lara.
I have a question.
You can ask.
Oh. Huh? Can you hear me now? Huh? Yeah, that's a fantastic seminar. I mean, I really thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, thank you very much. You mentioned that for the fat blooming, don't store at too high temperature.
Yes.
What exactly is a too high temperature?
Well, I refer. It depends, of course, on the composition of your chocolate product, how sensitive it is towards fat bloom formation. But I already mentioned that we did shelf life tests at 20 degrees versus 23 degrees C. But that's for filled chocolates. And we noticed a much faster fat bloom development in the product stored at 23 degrees C. So for certain products, 23 is already on the high side.
Okay.
On the other hand, if you look at plain chocolates, okay, you can store them at 26. They will also develop fat bloom quite fast, but yeah, it depends if you use anti-blooming agents in your products or not. So what is the composition of your product? I would recommend to test different temperatures and see how sensitive your product is to those temperatures. And if it is not meeting the standards that you want, then it's a matter of reformulating your product, improving your recipe so that it is more or less sensitive towards fat bloom.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Andal, we cannot hear you.
No, I was asking Lara if you can quickly share the fat bloom picture and then we can finish the webinar. She just wanted to show some, she has the picture from a milk chocolate that everybody wanted to see. Can you share it, Lara? If you have a problem, maybe you can email it to us and then we can send it with the email when we send the recording. So, you know this? Okay. No, we see your computer. We don't see the picture.
Well, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Did you see the picture?
No,
No, we see only your files.
So
like the file names. You don't see the picture. Maybe just send the picture as an email, Lara. That may be better.
Okay, I'll do
you
that.
can stop
double-click on the picture. I see the JPEG, the file, but
yeah,
you didn't. You didn't share the
Can you
picture.
open the JPEG file first on your computer, and then you go to share screen and the Zoom meeting again?
Yep, let me try that.
And then you have to select the right screen, which is then the full picture.
And then...
Okay, let's give it a try. In the meantime, I would like to answer... wait, I saw another question that I would like to answer.
Yeah, the handle shipping and transportation of products. Is that the one you want to answer?
Yes, perhaps. Ah, look, now we can see the picture. Yeah. So it's a block molded chocolate.
It is, yes, that's a milk chocolate.
Yes.
And it's a block. I've been working with chocolate for a number of years and I've never seen a crystal form like that. We had solid balls of chocolate that were falling out of the block of chocolate. You can see one of the balls there on the table.
I can also see that the top part of the chocolate is also completely white. Is that correct? It looks like it's very severe fat bloom, but the balls I haven't seen before myself. Perhaps perhaps you should send me an email. We could have a look at it under the microscope to see what it is exactly. That could be a way to try. Is it old or how?
No, it's milk chocolate that was poured directly from the melanger into a bin.
Yes.
And I would say at the time that I took it out of the container, maybe 4 to 6 weeks that it had been sitting in the container. So definitely not old.
So it came from the melanger directly into the bin. It means that the chocolate was not tempered at that moment.
Correct. Yeah. No, not tempered.
So not tempered. So it means that you have, at a certain moment, the chocolate is solidifying. You form a lot of unstable crystals. They will transform into more stable crystals like beta 5 and beta 6. What we do see is that fat crystals, they will grow. So they will grow and grow. And it's very typical that chocolate that is not tempered becomes more sandy after a while, because the fat crystals grow in size, and they're at a certain moment we can also detect these fat crystals at our tongue as particles. But this way you see it here as severe as it is here. I have never seen myself before. No, very intriguing, I would say.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. And where do you come from? What
I'm in the
climate?
United States.
Okay, so do you have high temperatures, high relative humidity, or?
No, the temperature, our working temperature is, well, sorry, Fahrenheit, 68 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and the humidity is pretty low.
Yeah. Okay, so it must be fat bloom, eh? But fat bloom as a result of non-tempering your chocolate. But these balls are really intriguing. So I think you probably have seen my email address. Do not hesitate to send me an email, and I will discuss it with our team and see if we can help you with that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so now you can stop sharing the screen, then we can see each other again. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay. There's one question on, the transportation, and then we can complete the webinar. That's
Okay.
Yeah, they were asking, how do you handle shipping and transportation of products in various climate conditions to prevent issues like blooming?
Yeah, well, it's a very important issue. You understand if the conditions, temperature and relative humidity conditions during transport are not okay, you will have really issues with the quality of your products. So this is something to discuss with your transporter. They can offer several solutions. Of course, one is cheaper than the other, or more expensive than the other. But ideally, the chocolate products are shipped in temperature controlled, in a temperature controlled way, and yeah, also relative humidity can be an important parameter to consider. I remember some cases from the past where for instance containers were shipped in an air-conditioned area, in an air-conditioned room, and then certain of these products were kept too close to the air conditioning units, where you had a local very high relative humidity, and then yeah, you can have problems with moisture on your chocolate surface, even growth of molds, because in plain chocolate normally you have no risk of microbiological growth, but if you have moisture condensation on your chocolate product, it might also result in that. So it's extremely important to discuss this with your transporter. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I think there's no other questions. So it's also time. It's up. So thank you all, because some people like in Philippines and Thailand, this is almost midnight for them. So in the interest of everybody's time, we thank you. And without the participants, these webinars are not going to be helpful, And also thanks, Claudia, for sharing your knowledge. It's a lot of information, a lot of useful information that people can use it in their business. And Teresa?
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
So thank you. So Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Have a rest of the weekend. Very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.